Welcome, my 194 subscribers, everyone who has not given up on AEW yet, and to those of you who think Rampage was better than Dynamite this week, as a whole, welcome to my review of AEW Rampage for the September 30th show. Let's begin. So the show opens with the Triple Threat Tag Team Championship match between the team of The Acclaimed, Private Party, and the Butcher and the Blade. So this match was really fun. All of the teams managed to showcase what they got. Private Party and the Butcher and the Blade were put in an even playing field with the tag team champions, which is really good. It's time to elevate these two teams so that AEW don't have to rely on ex-WWE guys. It's been a long time coming for Private Party, as well as Butcher and the Blade. They go for fun stuff here all around. Every team managed to display their tag team moves. We maybe get one botch, but it's not that obvious. It's at the start with Max Caster and Isaiah Cassidy. But yeah, the Acclaim dominate the start of the match. They're then the main sellers. The Butcher and the Blade cut the ring in thirds, and Private Party are the showcase guys. They do all of the amazing spots. They also sell the best. The Acclaim do this one thing where it's like a running neck breaker to a back breaker. And then Isaiah Cassidy just bounces off and is taken out, followed by this scissors leg drop, where it looks like a low blow, but apparently it's not. Mark Quinn's facial expression here is just really good. We also get nice teamwork from Butcher and the Blade. It's a lot less flashy, it's a lot more direct and hard hitting, but they have some flash there somewhere. We also get a Hardy Boys tribute a la Private Party, and an awesome finish where the Acclaimed have to use their brains in order to win it. Because the finish of the match is this outside dive by Isaiah Cassidy, which takes everyone out. I mean, it takes Butcher and the Blade out. But before the jump happens, before the dive happens, Anthony Bowens tags him. Max Caster goes for the outside dive and hits everyone, including Mark Quinn, who I missed, who was thrown out earlier. So they then isolate the Blade, then hit their finisher, which is this sidewalk slam by Bowens, followed by the mic drop for the win. What a first title defense by the Acclaimed. Well-deserved win. Let's just enjoy them while they still have the belts before FTR take it. But if FTR take it, I think it should be a redemption story for the Acclaimed. I think they should take it back after 6 months or something with a heel FTR. Things are too poisonous around the Bucks right now to give them the belts. If those guys go for belts, it should be the Trios Championship. They should be in that division for a year or so. But yeah, as for the spots of the match, number 3 is this tag team move by the Acclaim that I mentioned earlier. It's the simultaneous running neck breaker to a back breaker. Number 2 spot is the silly string that fails. It gets foiled by the Blade, and Private Party just crash and burn on the outside. And as for the number 1 spot, it's the near miss kick by Anthony Bowens that he taunts Isaiah Cassidy over, followed by a handshake. So yeah, really good match, really fun match. I think this should have been on Dynamite instead of some others that really bogged down the show. Like the title match, like the opener, or the Starks match, or the women's match. A lot of things could have been done better there, but opening Rampage with this makes all the sense and is the right fucking move. Great booking right here for Rampage. So after this is a pretty fun backstage segment with The Firm, The Guns, Stokely Hathaway, and W. Morrissey by Lexi Nair. So basically we have a couple on the screen across each other, so that's Lexi Nair and Morrissey. And here, it's a bit weird since the Guns bury all of the championships that FTR has. They mockingly call them different names, and for 2 of the 3 of those, I don't think you should be burying those belts, since they're your allies. But it was pretty fun. It was really fun how Stokely just corrects them, how he orients everyone to where those belts are at, what companies own those belts, and just educating the Ass Boys. And Ass Boys again doing a good job mocking FTR feuding with the former Pinnacle and stuff, and Morrissey here just looking tough. But yeah, best part of this entire segment is when Lexi tries to get their attention. This is at the very start. Lexi tries to get all of their attention, but the firm just banter away like she's not even there. Like disrespect shown here. And then she just looks at the audience, all pissy and stuff, and then yells at them for their attention. As Morrissey is just like no-selling this. And even during the interview, she just like keeps looking at the audience, like keeps breaking the fourth wall, looking pissed off that these like children are being difficult to work with. But yeah, really nice character work here by Lexi, as well as everyone involved. But Morrissey could do more here. More than just like looking intimidating. I think that's the next step. As long as something happens, please God. But yeah, segment did its job. It was pretty funny. And Lexi Nair, the interviewer, is MVP. So, Lexi Nair, being the hardest worker of Rampage so far, is in another interview segment where Jade Cargill, finally like decent at her promos, asks for competition just like Braun Strowman back in the day. Jade, you're sort of like barking on the wrong tree. I don't think Lexi has any like authority in this. She calls her a wrong name. She's all pissy and stuff, but then the fucking OG, fucking Nyla Rose, shows up and challenges Jade. I don't know about this. I think this is it. This is the person, this or Stat are the only two people who can take Jade out. It has to be. Come on, that's Nyla fucking Rose, the second women's champion of AEW. And as for this segment, Vicky Guerrero, fucking MVP of this segment. She does all the talking for her faction. She gives us like a nice recap of the previous encounter between Jade and Nyla. And she even throws in some comedy there. They insult Jade's eyebrows as well as what Sierra Leone is wearing, which I see nothing wrong with. She tells her, like Sierra's mother, to cover herself up. And yeah, nice encounter, really funny. I'm kind of hoping that they keep Nyla strong against Jade, or that Nyla's the one to take the title off Jade, but I don't know. I think they're saving it for a babyface. The finish of the match might be dusty, but who knows? All I know is that Nyla Rose is gonna carry the shit out of Jade in that match, and we're gonna get a somewhat like 7 out of 10. It might end up being Jade's best match. So yeah, really good encounter. I hope Jade doesn't pin Nyla clean. So after this is Lee Moriarty versus Fuego. And this is a foregone conclusion. We all know what Fuego is here for. We get a little bit of offense. And this is a match to showcase Lee. But he doesn't do a lot of pure wrestling here. It's not what the Pure Championship is about. He does a couple of like junior spots. Like some heel spots, and then his finisher, which is like a backdrop facebuster. Yeah, I think that's it. Where you go for a backdrop and then slam him down all the way forward. And then he finishes the match with what I think is a Gargano escape. So yeah, Lee wins in convincing fashion with a Gargano escape. Really fast match. Morrissey has to look strong too, so he just destroys the shit out of Fuego. I fucking hope we get Wardlow versus Morrissey soon. Or at least see him in a feud before he gets pissed off and wants to leave. But yeah, they do this nice thing where it's like a high five for the firm and then they both do it, but Lee like jumps. So yeah, alright match even if it's a squash, and nice showcase for the firm. So after this is a segment of the Dark Order where Los Ingobernables, or La Facción Ingobernables, is still trying to like recruit 10 to their side. Lexi Nair is still the interviewer, MVP of the show. So yeah, Lexi tries to interview Hangman about his match against Moxley, but before he says anything substantial, we get, an amazing fucking segment here, because in last week's Rampage, we don't get to see how 10 is eliminated. And I thought this was a dumb decision because there's a storyline going on. We actually had that encounter in the Battle Royal and they didn't show us the payoff. But here, Jose, the assistant, shows us what happens. And this was a pretty good elimination and like is nice storytelling, but they failed to show it on TV last week. So yeah, it's like a video of Jay Lethal doing a springboard dropkick, but like Hangman was supposed to take it, but Hangman ducks and then Jay's dropkick hits 10, and 10 is out. So yeah, missed opportunity for the Battle Royal. But what is set up here is a singles match next week on Rampage, which I kind of want to see now because it's very interesting. It's a match between Preston Vance and fucking Andrade, but if Preston Vance loses, he drops the mask. And then if Andrade loses, he leaves AEW. And for fuck's sake, if Andrade leaves and loses to like Preston Vance, that would be the worst fucking decision ever. He would keep the mask. He wouldn't like reveal his like physique and face that actually is kind of like superstar quality. And then, that's just like a dumb way to get rid of Andrade. That's like one of your best factions. I don't know about this. If Andrade leaves, you're just wasting another dude. But yeah, if he doesn't, like what I expect, it's pretty obvious that Andrade is gonna win. But like, there's just these rumors that he wants to leave. They might be playing to that. Even Tony Khan posted a tweet. I don't know if he's like mad at Andrade or something, but if Andrade wins, like how it's supposed to be, they're gonna gain a third member and that's gonna boost up Ingobernables. But after this, something weird really happens. It's like a shot at the WWE, and I kind of like it. I kind of like this whole thing because there is like precedent or supporting facts that he'll actually lose. And then like for some reason, Stokely Hathaway and Ethan Page show up and shoot about contract tampering. It's a shot to Triple H because I think it's been happening. That's what the rumors are saying. He tried to hire Bobby Fish to get Cole and O'Reilly out, but he failed. And if you actually like do this on TV, like mention something like this on TV, I think it's a work. And Andrade is totally gonna win and is not leaving. But yeah, who knows what'll happen. But yeah, great way to get people to watch Rampage. Not the casuals, but the internet fans will be all over it. So yeah, totally random for Ethan Page and Stokely to show up, but I don't know, it somehow adds to this. So yeah, interesting segment with some depth in there. And for fuck's sake, I really hope Andrade wins. Because you have nothing to gain. If Preston Vance wins and Andrade doesn't leave, like what the fuck? And then if Andrade leaves, you're losing him. So yeah, for fuck's sake, again, I've said this multiple times, Andrade should win. Okay, so after this is Willow Nightingale versus Jamie Hayter. And this one here, this match with no stipulation, just between two like women who've never been in the WWE before, fucking gets more reactions than Toni Storm versus Serena Deeb. Even if like Serena Deeb is like one of the best performers in the company. Jamie being over, I think, helps. But this match was just a lot more exciting than the women's match on Dynamite. Because this one has like a basic structure. So Willow gets control early on. And then like later on, like on the second half, Jamie gains control and it's a lot longer. I was expecting this to be like a shorter match. Like I was expecting for Jamie to like just finish the match at that second half, just like Rainmaker Willow and then be done with it. But we had Willow regain control just like for a shorter amount of time until like some shenanigans happen. Jamie does an awesome like avalanche German suplex and then finishes the match with her Rainmaker. But yeah, the crowd was into this the whole time. Jamie's very hard hitting. Like compared to the women's champion. I mean, yeah, Jamie's just a lot more impactful wrestler. More than I think more than Thunder and more than Tony. So I think she should have won the title, I think. But it should have been like Sheeta, her, or Britt or something. But yeah. And then, as for Willow, this girl is like a ball of charisma. She's like all personality. She's getting a lot better in the ring. We're getting to see like a lot more from her. It's like the big man offense. We have like a lot of sentons, some power moves, but mostly her thing here was to work the crowd, to play babyface, and to like show a lot of personality. And like she sells also with like a lot of like interesting facial expressions. Her face is very expressive when she sells, and she's not like a zombie. Like, for example, I know this is like match of the year for me, like Konosuke Takeshita versus Kazusada Higuchi. But Konosuke's facial expressions is just like nothing. That's like his biggest flaw, like the personality and the facial expressions. But here, Willow Nightingale shows like a lot more than that, than like one of the top Japanese wrestlers in the world today. So yeah, I have two spots of the match. Second is the pounce that she does. It's a bit out of nowhere. It's like when she finally regains control after like a long period of Jamie Hayter dominance. Jamie sets her up for something, she counters, and then big pounce sends Jamie out of the ring. Really good, and then nice play up to the crowd. And then the number one spot is the finish. Willow goes for like a moonsault that I think is too far for her. And then she gets distracted by Britt. It's like holding on to her leg with Aubrey Edwards looking the other way. Again, we have one of these finishes. But this is on Rampage. But this all happens on the same night as Dynamite. So the crowd might have been sick of this. But yeah. Britt holds on to Willow's leg. This gives Jamie enough time to regroup. And then she hits Willow with this avalanche German suplex. No, it's not avalanche. It's like she grabs her from the top. She's in like a jaded position, but instead of going forward, it's like a German suplex followed by the Rainmaker that Jamie does. She gets the pin for the win. 1, 2, 3. Really good match. Best women's match of the week. Yeah, better than in Dynamite. The fuck is happening there? Simple structure, but does a very good job in showcasing both women. Shows us what they have. And yeah, I'm excited in seeing more of Willow Nightingale. And for fuck's sake, do right by Jamie. Have her break up with Britt Baker already, because yeah, she needs to be like her own person. Or like at least join a faction like the Blackpool Combat Club, which she suits very much. Or not, but yeah, like just like take advantage of like the gravity that she has around her right now, because she has like a popularity. She's fairly over, she has like fan support by just being there. Like she doesn't need to do anything to be cheered, so you have to take advantage of that shit. So yeah. So after this is a short video promo by Wardlow and Samoa Joe, and yeah, Joe like outperforms Wardlow, of course, but it's like an introduction to their new team. I guess they're a tag team now. I'm opposed to this because having them just take every belt is the wrong move. I think these guys should be single stars, but if they just back each other up, that's all right. I mean, like as a promoter or like as a kayfabe boss, why the fuck would you allow people to get multiple titles? Yeah, just like have them back each other up. That'll be fine. But this promo here, especially on Joe's side, was very epic. A lot of like flowery words, sounds poetic, said by fucking Joe. So yeah, it's a really good, really effective. Not very long, doesn't overstay its welcome, and yeah, it was pretty entertaining. So after this is like a short segment where Nick Nemeth, the Hollywood hunk, Dolph Ziggler's brother, trashes the city of Philadelphia. He insults ECW. And who else shows up but Hook, the son of like one of the greatest ECW champions ever. And yeah, he like makes short work of Nemeth. He does really good doing this. He looks really good doing the moves, especially like that Naomi Yoshimura judo hip throw. But Naomi Yoshimura does it better because he's like a lot bigger. But it looks really good here. But the point is, after this, after he makes Nick Nemeth tap out, the Trustbusters show up and like offer Hook something, like a piece of paper. Hook takes this, and what the fuck is happening? Is he gonna join the Trustbusters? Is he gonna have a match with Brock Jr.? This is like interesting right here, but fucking hopefully he doesn't. That's just gonna be, I don't know. It's like a bad pairing, but glad to see these dudes used on TV. Brock Jr.'s missing though. Parker Boudreaux, but yeah. This segment was a lot better than like an actual match with like a no-name jobber. So yeah. Effective segment, not great, but yeah, I mean, it succeeds at starting a new storyline for Hook. So yeah, overall positive. So after this is like a short video segment updating us on what's happening with Swerve. It further builds up to the encounter on Wednesday. I thought this feud was done, but I guess we're gonna get like a third match. It's between like Swerve and Keith against the Acclaimed, but I think this is when Swerve and Keith will finally like break up as a team, like formally. It could give us like another good match, but a more impactful ending. So yeah, it's just like Swerve going through like a rap festival or something. It's alright. I mean, you could have had him talk in the ring or something, but they did an okay job at like explaining this away. Swerve is too dismayed, so he doesn't show up. But yeah, alright, but maybe is the worst segment of the night. So after this is like this vignette style promo with Hangman Page mostly and a little bit of Moxley. But yeah, mostly Hangman Page. It's a really good promo. I don't know what people are saying about like Hangman being bad at promos. He's like really good in this. I don't fucking understand. It's just like maybe his connection to the elite, the Cornette fans hate him, even if he's like actually pretty decent. Are you guys fucking kidding? You guys were like behind this dude 100% back in the day. And now that he's had this like failed championship run in your eyes, that's not even his fault. He wasn't booked really well. And now you're hating him? What's going on there? He speaks like a natural babyface. I guess that's why people tend to gravitate to those who like have more bite in them, even if the content is not quite there. But Hangman Page always speaks with a lot of content, good cadence. And yeah, he's just like he has a voice that you would want to root for. He's the forever babyface. But yeah, he cites that he's gonna like play off the fans. They're gonna help him win. But this like interviewer tells him that they're gonna be at Cincinnati, at Jon Moxley's hometown. So he says shit, and then that's where we cut off. So yeah, Hangman's gonna find himself in hostile territory next week on Dynamite. And I don't know if like that being in Cincinnati really matters that much. I mean, if it was like in Philadelphia or in Chicago, I would be scared, or like in Long Island. But Cincinnati, we'll have to see next week or whenever it happens. Oh, it's not next week. It's on the 18th of October. So like after 2 weeks. We'll have 2 weeks of build-up, probably some promo segments face-to-face, finally. You gotta trust Hangman Page more because he did really well against Kenny. He got a lot of good promos there. And now I think he can do much better with Jon Moxley. And just the match they're gonna have, like how much Adam Page is gonna add to that, how good he is in the ring. It's gonna be less bogged down than Moxley's matches against people who aren't excellent in the ring. He tends to do that. But in the end, I think MJF fucks the winner over. It's an inevitability. But I think if you have this dude like MJF who's at risk of leaving the company, I think you should have Mox put over Page since he did all the work, and then MJF can just steal the title. And Mox is going on a vacation anyway, so I think that's gonna work. Reward the loyal wrestler, but have the draw take it right away, have the chase happen. Yeah, this is a wise choice. But if Mox just beats Page, it's gonna be a less interesting story. You're gonna give MJF too much cred, too much power, too much weight. And the overall match quality in the end is not gonna be as good as the one with Page. At least build to a 3-way or maybe a match between Page and any one of La Facción. I think that would be wise. So yeah, a lot more directions to go than I suspected at first. But yeah, I am pretty excited about Hangman Page's storyline. Because the MJF storyline looks like it's gonna go in one direction, for sure. So yeah, really good segment. Again, very short. But this is a lot better than the last one. So yeah. And then we have the customary Mark Henry pre-match Rampage interview. And this one's between Alex Reynolds and John Silver against the whole Facción Ingobernables. And this was a very fun interview. I hope Andrade doesn't fucking leave. But yeah, this was very fun. John Silver made this whole thing. He's all charisma, all mic work, and very expressive as well. John Silver came this close to calling La Facción creepy perverts for their man crush of 10. And Silver closes this up with a really funny delivery of, "We're gonna beat your ass," and yeah. La Facción's time to talk is very short. They're having trouble in cutting full English promos, but what they do here is effective enough for what they can do. Especially Rouge. And come on guys, I mean, if Kenny Omega can learn fluent Japanese at his age, you guys can learn fucking how to speak fluent English or better at your ages. You're even younger than Kenny, so yeah. Not to bash the non-English speakers, but as a trilingual person myself, come on, you need to do a lot better. This is your fucking job. You don't need to study anything else, but just language. So yeah, get that classes on, get those promos on, go to class or something. Have at least an Eddie Guerrero level of mastery. Because I think that's the only thing holding Andrade back. If he can somehow manage to talk as well as Eddie Guerrero, he would be it. But yeah, it looks like there's been enough talk. It's time for the main event! But again, before the main event, there's a promo by Trent. Bad placement. I think I said this months ago now, that there shouldn't be anything between the Mark Henry interview and the actual main event match. But there is in this case. We have Trent Beretta cutting a promo on Pac about his cheating, about how he beat Orange Cassidy by hitting him with a hammer. He says that this is one of the rules that his mom told him. It's oddly specific. But this promo is a lot more intense. It's a lot more serious than what we're used to with Trent. And the rest of the best friends. This promo does a good job in building up the match, but I mean, for a Battle of the Belts show, really, Trent? He hasn't really won much, and I think this is a bad choice. This match should open the show. So finally, for the actual main event, Rush versus John Silver. They started off by stealing each other's taunts. It's done after one guy takes control and is a pretty good way to start it off. It's a very American wrestling thing. And for the whole match, it's established that Rush is the stronger wrestler. Hungy sells more for him than Rush sells for Hungy. Rush then proceeds to dominate most of the match. We had his cord spot stopped by Bryce Remsburg, which is a good thing because that's a disqualification. He does use a trash can, but come on. A plastic trash can that's that size doesn't really hurt, so isn't a grounds for disqualification. And then Ingobernables do these taunts, synchronized taunts, just like Rush taunts. The start of the match doesn't plod. They do a lot of character work, and Rush's fake out finisher. I like that when John Silver gains control, like in every match this happens, I mentioned this, as the weaker wrestler, he doesn't do it through his own skill or strength. Rush fucks up and then concedes control. These guys manage to moderate their speed at doing things. For example, a German suplex. When Silver does it, it's a lot slower because Rush is a bigger dude. He gets a power bomb off, but it's a counter to a Hurricane Rana. Nice way to get a power bomb off, but not have the extremely smaller dude lift the bigger dude. And when they're back in an even playing field, Rush just no-sells everything. Way to make him look strong. The only way Silver gets offense off is if it's a counter. And then we get some interference spots, some distraction spots that I don't think we needed. Jose, the assistant, might have injured his knee while failing to distract Silver, but Andrade's there. Sufficient distraction, big forearm to Silver, drop kick to the corner, 1, 2, 3, Rush wins. Really fun match. Top 3 spots are the taunt spots at the beginning. Number 2 spot is the strike battle where Rush just dominates Silver. And then the number 1 spot is the brainbuster. The finish isn't qualified to be a top spot of the match. It's a distraction, and Rush doesn't really need one. But yeah, fun match all the same. It's a TV main event, pay-per-view undercard match. After this we get a brawl. Rush, Andrade, and Jose try to beat the shit out of Silver and Reynolds. Dark Order come out. They don't win, they just even it up. Butcher and the Blade tip the scales back to Ingobernables, but then Hangman Page makes his entrance. They manage to keep Hangman away from Andrade. He just ducks a clothesline, runs past him, tears everyone on his path apart, and then he has a face-to-face with Rush, teasing the 1v1. We also get a tease for a buckshot, but then Rush leaves. Instead, poor Jose, the assistant, who's probably injured his knee, takes a fucking buckshot. Dark Order stand tall in the end, and this was a great Rampage. I enjoyed this more than Dynamite, as a whole show. Dynamite had higher heights, but this show was just so consistent. It didn't have shit segments in it, or any shit matches. They set up some stuff for some interesting storylines. People actually cheered for the women's match. And Ingobernables are on TV, so that's a good thing. But yeah, I really enjoyed Rampage a lot more than Dynamite. It's only 1 hour, but it's super meaty. And of course, it makes me want to watch again next week. So yeah, comment, and subscribe for engagement. Share if you do not know me. Hit that bell notification for future videos, and please, watch my shit.